So, hey guys, happy Saturday. I know a lot of you are probably prepping for events, all that good stuff, or doing whatever you want to do on your specific Saturday. I just wanted to jump on to really share some things with you guys. You know, we are going into this, I like to say, a new phase because, take the focus off of the big number 2020, right? We're going into a new phase. And phases can happen at any moment in your life, right? People tend to, hey, Wendy, people tend to focus on what's trending. And right now it's 2020 because it happens next week. Well, it'll be here. So I like to focus more on a major shift in your business, another phase in your business, because it can happen at any given time. So although a major shift and change and all that is currently going on in my business, I'm quite sure I'm predicting it to happen again in Q2. So I talked to some of you guys the other day about being intentional and all of that good stuff. That's my word that I'm taking into the next phase of my life, of my business, of my whole existence, right? So I wanted to share with you guys just really quickly 3 things that I stopped, right? I just had to stop. And it wasn't an abrupt stop because it was some things that I have been struggling with for quite some time. But the minute that I did decide to stop, how I was able to 10x my income. And it was just that easy, right? So I know we are going into, some of you may know my membership program launches next week, right? A lot of you ladies are already enrolled. Thanks for that. Can't wait to work with you guys. And the main thing that we are focusing on is mindset, right? That is going to be the initial kickoff because the program within itself, it's a lot of information. It's a lot, not only information, but it's a lot of things that you have to implement into your business in order for it to grow or get to that, whatever your goal is. Some things that's going to have to take place. But if you're not mentally prepared to make those changes and adjust, then guess what? It's not going to happen. Not only that, but if you're not at a place where you know you deserve, right? You just feel it in your heart. You know you are deserving. You know all that stuff. Then quite naturally, when it shows up, you'll be ready for it, right? But if you're battling with some stuff, like if you, as far as pricing and all that good stuff, and you feel like you're not worthy, you're not deserving, then guess what? You're not going to get it. That's just quite naturally how it works. You have to really understand the science behind it. Like what you think is what you become, right? So mindset is so important. And I talked to a couple of my ladies this afternoon and this morning in reference to it. And I'm glad that they were kind of like excited, knowing that this is a crucial moment and a pivotal part of not just business, but your life period. When you really, deal with some things that whatever you have going on internally, whatever your limiting beliefs are, quite naturally, it will keep you at bay. It will. I know. I've been there for a very long time. So that is quite naturally what happens, right? So the 3 things that I stopped, finally said, I'm not taking these into the next year. I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not. Number 1 was procrastinating, right? Not necessarily procrastinating within itself, like, oh, no. My procrastination happens because it's so many things, right? So many things going on and not really prioritizing. Some things get kicked to the back end, and then guess what? I never get around to handling it, right? Because I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then a big procrastinating issue with you guys, and what I commonly see, is not following up. Not following up. When you don't follow up, you have prospects that may have inquired about your services. They came to you for some kind of reason, right? Now it's up to you to close the deal, right? And if it may not happen on the first try. And if it don't happen on the first try, guess what? That is when you are supposed to follow up. When you don't follow up, you're leaving money on the table. You are. I was able to yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. I actually just said I was going to do this for an hour, right? You got to really figure out how much is how much is your time worth? Like an hour of your time, how much is that worth, right? I know what I would want an hour, right? And I'm very intentional about that. But so yesterday I said, okay, I'm just going to go through an hour, right? And it was a couple of people asking me about these workshops and want someone to take advantage of the Savannah class. And I'm like, okay, this is a, amazing time to just see who I need to follow up with. So I took an hour, followed up with these individuals, right? Just shot them a message. It may be some of you guys. Just shot them a quick message. Hey, I heard you were interested in this workshop. Let me know if you want to proceed. But blah, blah. Where my paper at? It probably was about 6. Of the 6, I was able to close 3. Now, those 3 probably initially would not have signed up had I not followed up, right? So I want to tell you guys, I don't know how, like those that maybe don't have the systems in place, the systems that's going to remind you, hey, follow up with such and such or something like that. If you don't have systems in place in your business, first of all, that's a huge no-no. You're messing up right there. But let's just say, right? Hey, Ada. Hey, Charmaine. So let's just say that, you have these prospects say like, hey, I want your services, blah, blah, blah. And you still are doing it manually or whatever the case may be. But you don't have any kind of reminder system to, hey, Sheila contacted you the other day about this event for 100 people, right? You primarily just left, what, $2,500 on the table, possibly for some of you, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is, right? But technically, when you're up in those kind of numbers, you got your systems in place. You got a follow-up system in place. I'm almost certain, right? But that is like a biggest thing. So my thing that I eliminated, the first thing was procrastination. I told you guys going into this new phase, I'm not going to say the whole number thing. I'm being intentional, right? I know exactly what I want. So now I have this thing that, and I read it a couple places, and I think that's a part of that whole attraction thing. So I've been seeing it often, right? About being intentional, about being saying exactly what it is you want. Before you act, think, and speak, or all that stuff, realize, is it really contributing to what your ultimate goal is? Even when it comes down to social media, like when you're about to post something, like really, what is this post directed to? Is it helping me any kind of way? Is it adding value to what I have going on? Is it ultimately going to help me reach my goals? Any kind of way. So normally when I ask myself that, I'm like, oh, okay. And if it's a no, I don't do it. I don't do it because it has no purpose in what I'm trying to do. So now being intentional, I said, okay, well, I have this free time. Let me follow up with some people. Didn't really know how it was going to turn out because now I'm being intentional, right? This is not my method and what I used to do. Did the follow up. Was able to close 3 immediately. Bam, 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 immediately. So that's exactly what I mean. Now, quite naturally, if I didn't do that yesterday, I would have not had that extra income yesterday just by simply leaving money on the table, right? Another thing was, as far as procrastination is like what you guys, I wanted to mainly say like the following up, because there's a lot of you guys that's not following up and don't even have a follow-up system in place. Yes, Ada, tell them again for the people in the back. It's super, super, super important because not only is it important, but sometimes you don't really know who the decision maker is in that situation. Like it could be the wife that reached out to you or the fiance that reached out to you about their wedding, right? But they can't give you an answer or anything like that or move forward till they go back and they may got to consult with their fiance. They may got to go back and look at some finances. They may got to really hear some realistic numbers or anything like that, right? So it's up to you to really that's your selling point. Like really, you want their business. You have to make them feel like you really want to work with them. You're interested in working with them. And not only that, but you have something that is going to ultimately solve whatever they're looking for you for, whatever it is. So if it's something like a wedding, okay, you have exactly what they need. They feel safe because they know you're going to handle boom, 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 boom. If you're planning, right? If you're doing design, they feel safe because they know they're going to walk in and tears going to be falling down their eyes and they're like, oh. So that is like the stuff that really makes them buy. It's not about having 100 sashes and 10 tablecloths. It's not about all that. And a lot of times that's how y'all kill it. That's how y'all kill it. Talking about all the things as opposed to what is going to make them buy, right? So procrastination, that was one thing I ended. Not only that, I never did a 12 days of Christmas thing. I never did that. I just think it's so cliche. But right now I'm being intentional, right? So like I said, finding those little pockets, that's amazing opportunities to really increase my wealth. So that was one of them. Never in a million years did I think it would generate what it did. So I want to tell you guys, if there's anyone telling you, oh, don't do that, everybody's doing the sale for this or sale for that, I do say don't do what everyone's doing. Make it your own. Like, you know, I'll throw my sale on whenever I feel like. I could do a Christmas Day sale on Christmas Eve. I really can. But you really do want to kind of take advantage of those kind of moments. You really, really, really do. And I'm definitely going to do it moving forward, because I just told you I 10 times my income, like, by doing nothing. And this was just only off of digital products. This had nothing to do with events. This had nothing to do with coaching. This had nothing to do with workshops. It just was digital products. So if you can make over $10,000 just on some digital products, why are you not doing that now?